Hello and welcome, it's me, Mars44, and we're back to another Cardfight Vanguard, Cardfight area, deck profile. Today's deck profile, we have the Dragon, that is, you know, Vortexy, and he's Newt. You know, instead of neat, Newt, get it? Yeah, bad joke. Perdition Dragon, Vortex Dragonewt. Sorry if I can't say Perdition right. I don't know how you say it. And I don't even know how you say his old name, but this deck, very fun deck, very good deck. I love this card, so much fun to use and play. Now one thing about this deck is this deck profile is just going to be like Sing Saver Dragon, where this is the 1.0 version, but the 2.0 version is another deck profile. So the thumbnail will be right there leading to the 2.0. It's Overlord the Great and this. That's the 2.0 version, just like I did with Sing Saver, where I said, okay, Sing Saver, if you want to just play Sing Saver and go like focus on it, play this build. But if you want to play the Sing Saver the way it's good, you know, here's the Alfred Jiv. It's Alfred Jiv and Sing Saver. So Sing Saver 2.0. So the Overlord the Great is basically this version, Dragonewt 2.0. But anyways, enough of that. Let's move into the deck. Still a strong deck, even though it's not like, you know, the version you should be playing. But this is if you just want to play this one solidly, and it's not a bad choice. It's a good choice. It's fun. It's fun either way, I think. So the starter is Red Pulse Dracokid. Now we don't use the starter of Tinder Spear Dracokid, but there's a big reason why. For one, you need to do Persona Blast and stuff, and that's why Red Pulse Dracokid is pretty much, you know, pick him, because you need Persona Blasts. So, yeah. On top of it, he's good to get your, you know, your starting Vanguard as well. But the other reason is you do have quite a few cards that will, you have the other card that will retire an entire column, and yeah, the other starter's okay, but a lot of people consider Red Pulse Dracokid better for this deck, these types of decks. And he really is. He really does work better. So, yeah, one of him. Of course, because starter. Yep. I mean, why would you have two starters? That's weird. It's weird. And then we have 4 Perdition Dragon, Vortex Dragonewt. His Legion mate is Perdition Dragon, Whirlwind Dragon. And his Legion skill is Counterblast 2. Choose one card with the same name as a unit on your Vanguard circle from your hand and discard it. If this unit is in Legion, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rearguard or less rearguards and retire them. Then, if the number of cards in your opponent's damage zone is 4 or less, choose one of your opponent's Vanguard, deal it 1 damage, and during the damage check, all trigger effects are nullified. This ability cannot be used for the rest of the turn. And then his other skills, during your main phase, when your opponent's rearguards are put into the drop zone, this unit gets power plus 3000 until end of the turn. So, very, very strong pressure heavy card. Gets lots of power, and then on top of the fact, he can retire quite a bit. Nice pressure heavy to put him up to 5 damage. My cat's going crazy, sorry if you hear that. But just very strong card. And just so much fun to use and abuse, and I mean, abusing Vanguards is illegal, isn't it? Is it? Not that kind of abuse. God damn it, Miles. You're talking about the wrong thing. Maybe my bad jokes. Anyways, yeah, so crazy strong. Anyways, so we got 4 Perdition Dragon, Pain Laser Dragon. That's our other grade 3. Some people play 3 of it, because they feel it's kind of a bad card. I don't think it's horrible. And it's definitely also the card you want to start off with. You don't want to use Dragonewt till a little later, because this card's better for, you know, just retiring units early on, and the damage thing really does work better when your opponent's at like at 4-ish damage to like knock them to the 5th or even 3. But this card's definitely better earlier on, so that's why I question why some people play 3 of it. If you want to, go ahead, but I really question it because this is the card, this is the Vanguard you want to start off with. So if you don't know what he does, his Legion mate is Perdition Dragon, Menace Laser Dragon, and its Legion skills. Counterblast 1 when this card performs Legion, you may pay the cost. If you do, choose one of your opponent's rearguard and retire all your opponent's rear guards in the same column as that unit. And its other skill is Soul Blast 1. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, you may pay the cost. If you do, this unit gets power plus 3,000 until end of turn, end of the battle. The 3,000 is not bad. You don't use it a lot, but once in a while it is helpful. And then as for its Legion skill, you know, it's kind of like Percival and stuff. When you Legion, you do this. But it's not bad. It's a Counterblast 1 to just retire a whole column, so it's nice. And then you can also combine it with... You can also try to combine it with the other guy, retiring some other stuff. And you can really... You can really retire a lot. So it works well, retiring a lot early on, and that's why I feel like people are a little hard on it. It kind of works well. I can understand why they don't think it's great, and I understand it, but it's a card that you want to use early on, so that's why I play 4, mainly because you want to get it, because it's harder to get it if you have 3, even if you have Red Pulse Dracokid. But I don't feel it's a horrible card either. Anywho, moving on to grade 2s, we have 4 Perdition Dragon, Whirlwind Dragon. So Legion mate for Dragonewt, he's basically just a 12k beater as long as your Vanguard has Perdition as card name. Not a bad thing. Pretty nice. At first I was kind of disappointed that it was a 12k beater, but I see how it kind of works with the deck. I mean, you can rest like Gojo behind it and then have it swing. So it's not too bad. It's a pretty nice, solid idea. But you know, yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. So yeah, just 4 of him, and then 4 Perdition Dragon, Menace, Laser Dragon. The other guy's Legion mate. His skill is Counterblast 1 when this card is placed on a rearguard circle. If you have a Vanguard with Perdition in its card name, you pay the cost. If you do, choose up to one of your opponent's rearguards in the same column as unit and retire it. So he's like a Berserk Dragon. Catches. He's not 2 Counterblast, but it has to be in the same column as this unit. So you have to kind of strategize your columns properly. Like if you create a column right away, your opponent will probably throw stuff on the other side, because that means you either call this to the other side and you might not be able to hit stuff, and that's not really worth it, or you could just make an entire column, and that might be scary because you made an entire column a little early on. So you got to be careful when using it, but it's a good card. It's a really solid card. It's great for retiring, and it works well with its grade 3 Legion mate. I mean, having this card on rear guard, and yeah, you get to retire quite a bit, so it's really nice with that. But yeah. And then we have 3 Perdition Dragon Knight, Ilham. So I was kind of iffy on this card. What it does is when your Vanguard performs Legion, choose up to one of your opponent's rear guard in the same column as this unit and retire it. So the thing I was kind of iffy on it was I felt like I should have played one of the other cards. I might change it, and I'd let you guys know. I mean, this is the 1.0 version, so it's not a big deal, but it's if you want to play this deck this way. There's a reason I chose to go with this card though, and it's just because Dragonewt gets power and stuff, so he basically builds up on power. The card that I was looking at also builds up on power, and that's why I was like, okay, I think more retiring works better, and a lot of people seem, a lot of other deck profiles have this card with just a standard Dragonewt deck like this. So it does work better for this type of deck, and especially because what the Vanguard does and stuff. I had to close my door because my cat would shut up, like I said. But yeah, just solid card. As I said, I was kind of iffy on it, but I found it really did work in the deck, and the other card is more for the 2.0 version that I was talking about. Anyways, on to grade 1s. We have 4 perfect cards, so 4 Perdition Dragon, Rampart Dragon. Now, Quintet walls are kind of again. I mean, not again. Quintet walls are kind of at this moment, and they've been for, well, they're still kind of They're probably going to make their comeback eventually and be good again in a way, but most people basically play 4 perfect guards again, especially for how much columns can come for again, and also what certain cards can do and such. And yeah, perfect guards are normally a lot better, and no one really plays any Quintet Walls anymore, which is understandable. Decks can build up on hand too now too, so it's really not a concern anymore. But yeah, so 4 perfect guards. Hopefully Quintet Walls will make their comeback. Hopefully. And then we have 3 Dragon Monk Gojo. Now I know most people normally play 4 of these, but with how I run the deck and stuff, I prefer to play 3. If you want to play 3, if you want to play 4 Gojo, take out the grade 3 Pain Laser Dragon. That's basically the change I made, because the Gojo was at 4 and the Pain Laser was at 3, and then I was like, okay, I'm gonna make this little change. But I really recommend changing, if you want to play 4 Gojo, changing the Pain Laser Dragon to 3. But as I said, you want him first, so it's kind of eh. But Gojo really helps early on, not just early on, but throughout the whole game, getting your Legion faster, drop and draw. And as I said, it works with the Whirlwind Dragon, you know, swinging for 12k, or just throwing him in an empty column, because you didn't make a column yet. So really solid card. And then we also have 3 Federation Battler, Maleikoh. So lasso there. Skill is Soul Blast 1 during your main phase. When your opponent's rear guard in the same column as this unit is put into the drop zone. If you have Vanguard with Federation in the card name, pay the cost. If you do, choose a card from your damage zone and turn face up. So easier damage on Flipper. Pretty solid. You don't need to use him a whole lot, because you're not counterblasting too much, but you are getting quite a few counterblast downs, so you do need him, you know, probably 2 to 3 times a game, and then you don't really Soul Blast more than that. So it's not too bad. You use up a few cards in your soul with that, and it leaves room for your soul for other cards to be used that's in this deck, that we'll get to in a moment. But yeah, really solid card. You only want to play 3. 4 is a little much. But yeah, very solid to help you on flip damage and use more of your skills to just retire. And then we also have 2 Calamity Tower Wyvern. So Soul Blast 2, draw 1. Helps you get Legion by the Soul Blast, and you know, gives you some free pluses, which is always huge. These are another huge thing that I think I mentioned as well in the last deck profile about this card's really huge, along with the rest drop for helping Legion, and it's just really big in that regard. Now I know there's a damage on Flipper, but the catch is this card gives you free plus, and the plus is more important than damage on flipping. And you don't Soul Blast, and you don't lose a lot of. You don't need to do a lot. If you have more 5Ks, it'll make your columns weaker, and you don't need to unflip too much, which is why the other guy works, and he's a solid 7K, and he's only Soul Blast 1 as well, letting this guy do what he has to do, and giving you a +1, so you can get a +1, if you're lucky, +2, but I doubt you'll get a second one of these off, because normally you don't, you just get 1, but +1, and then get a few unflips, and that's really it. Your soul's kind of empty. Maybe it has like a card or 2 left, but yeah, really solid card. I just wanted to make that clear, because I know some people are like, you know, about the damage on Flipper, why don't you play that instead? But I just explained why. It's much more consistent to play it with these guys. If you want to play it with the damage on Flipper, go ahead. But it's much more consistent and much better for this deck as well, playing it like this. And then I also actually have 2 Perdition Knight Maleisei. Now I know you could, an option you could do is take out these 2 and play the 10k beaters, or take out these 2 and play 4 Gojo and another of the other guy, but I think that other guy doesn't need to be another. I don't know. The lasso guy, whatever his name is, Maleikoh. But I only play 2 of him. I would really like to play 3, but the other cards like Gojo and stuff are way too important in the deck. and you definitely need how many you have. If you lower any of them, it'll be kind of eh. So these are Shuki clones basically, but the difference is it has to be in the same column as this unit. So it is more specific, and I guess, and as well because of that, it's not a huge deal to play this card. So it's not as big as a worry to not play this card, but it's still a strong card and can help with some columns, and that's why I play 2 of them. It still helps with columns and such, and I think it's better than the 10k beaters, especially because a lot of Legion decks now I don't see playing. A lot of Legion decks I don't see playing too many 10k beaters or none at all, and I think it just works better for what the deck is too. It definitely works better for what the deck is as well, I feel. And then on to Crazy Woes. We have 4 Buster Rain Dragon, Perdition Dragon, and 4 Perdition Dragon Knight, Tovare. So a crit 4 Gattling Dragon, because, you know, grade 1s, you want to kill them always, any day, every day. So 4 draw, and then 4 heal, Perdition Dragon, Agafia. And yeah, that's about it for this deck profile. That's it. It's over, guys. I'm sorry. Alright, so thank you guys for joining me in this deck profile. It's a little cleaner than the last one. I think I still was kind of sloppy, but you know what? I gotta get back into it, so GG, well played, Miles. GG, well played. Hope you guys enjoyed. The deck list will be in the description below, just like always. Remember to like and comment and go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more videos from me. That's about it. I'll see you guys next time. If you guys want to see more videos from me, on the left there are Let's Play videos, so you can go and check those out. And if you guys aren't up for that, on the right there are Cardfight Vanguard videos, so you can go and check that out. And if you're still not up for those, I have Super Smash Bros, Pokemon, and a Versus series on my channel, so you can go to my channel and check that out. Also, down below is my review channel, where I do reviews, countdowns, game chats, which is like a podcast, and more. And don't forget to check out my Twitter, Facebook, and Skype, all listed at the top there. That is all. Hope you guys enjoy.